no one's business. Oh my goodness, I have not seen anyone save a moment like that in a long, long time.
Me either, goodness me.
Alrighty. So if you didn't already know, I had a really close call, and I actually almost crashed my bike. I almost crashed her. And unfortunately, my buddy Loco Rider, he actually did go down and tore up the entire left side of his bike. Man, it's windy as fuck out here, man. We get blown around. But yeah, he tore up the entire left side of his bike. And honestly, I feel like that's partly my fault. And that's because, so we had basically come down that road. It's a pretty long road. And we were both really, really unfamiliar with it. And so we took it, when we went down there the first time, we took it real easy. We weren't riding too crazy, you know. It was a little bit of spirited riding, but nothing insane. And then when we got to the very end of the road, which was the gravel section, we turned around, and I'll be honest, I got a little competitive for no real reason. But you know what happens, like you're riding in a group, and you tend to push each other. And so that's what basically happened. So I was going quite a bit. I was going a bit fast on a road that I had been on. That was the first time I was ever on that road. And I had thought, oh man, I know this road now, because I went up the road once, you know. And so I got a little bit overconfident and started pushing it on the way back. And it's funny because I did the exact same thing in Sandia Crest Mountains, and I was perfectly fine. And there were no runoff areas over there. One mistake and you're going over the fucking rail. But I had done the exact same thing in Sandia, and I was doing just fine. But the thing is, Sandia, you can see the risk a lot more clearly than you could on the road that we were on. Because the road we were on was really quick. There are a lot of hills that you would go over, and then you would drop, and then go into a right-hand turn a lot. So there were some of those turns. And overall, like the corners, they're high-speed corners. But the problem with these corners on that road that I hadn't been on before is they'll start out like, they'll start off where you can hit them at a pretty high speed, and then they'll sharpen at the end. And I know this because the day after my friend went down, I actually went back to the road on a Sunday, because I was like, okay, this road's not gonna fuck me over. I'm not gonna just throw in the towel on it. I'm not gonna let it conquer me, you know. So I went back, and I did like I went up the road like 6 or 7 times, and it's a pretty long road. But I did that so that I would, you know, gain some mastery over it and really figure out what it was. And basically what I realized is I just didn't know the road. That was the reason that I went off into the dirt, and the reason my buddy crashed. We just didn't know the road. We were riding carelessly. Well, not carelessly, but we were riding a bit too spiritedly on a road that we had never been on before. So guys, especially if you're in a group or by yourself, it doesn't really matter. Know the road, man. Don't go on the road one time and think that you got it nailed. Don't go down it. Don't do like a brief lap per se and then assume that you know the track like the back of your hand. Because it's funny, because the day after my buddy's crash, when I went down there again, I actually ran off again. I didn't take my camera, but I ran off the road a second time, which was really stupid. Because once again, I didn't know the road and I was trying to push myself around these corners that were really kind of like blind turns. You'd go into them and they would be like, you'd be able to predict them, right? And then when you get to the end, they sharpen up and they tighten up they get really tight. So you have to be very cautious about the roads. So yeah, I would advise thoroughly combing over any road that's unfamiliar to you, especially if it's a twisty road. Especially if it's a twisty road. Because on that road there weren't any gravel spots, but there's a big dirt spot that we didn't know about. I think that guy knows me, whatever. But there's like a sandy part on that road, and when I was there the second day, I hit that, I almost fucking wiped out again because there's like a sandy part in it, and so I really had to get on the brakes, and my back end was slipping out a little bit because of the dirt. Man, that guy, you're going way too fast, lady. It's a 45, she's going like 70. But man, oh man, did I learn my lesson on that road. That road is no joke, man. That road is no joke. Not gonna tell you what the road is if you live in New Mexico, because, you know, I'm a selfish prick. And that road absolutely has no cars on it. I'm talking 0 cars, man. Like, not a soul on that road. Not a soul. And I don't want a bunch of people in their cars, because I know some people who watch my channel might be car enthusiasts or bike enthusiasts or whatever, and I don't want them, you know, hogging up the road, because that road is very well paved too. It's smooth as a motherfucker, man. But yeah, the moral of the story, take it easy on roads that you have never been on. Don't push yourself on new roads, even if you have a friend with you and you're trying to, you know, impress them by dragging knee and showing them how dismal the skills are, right? I know you've all done it. That guy's on 1,000, you're on a 250, and you're gonna show him who's boss. Oh man, I used to do that a lot when I was on my Ninja 300. I used to fucking go ham on Oregon roads, man. I didn't need to worry about the power or anything. Anyway, I'll go ahead and end it there. As always, ride safe, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace. And P.S. just a quick note for those of you who in the comments were saying, bruh, you weren't carrying excess speed, you probably target fixated. And upon reevaluation, yes, I did target fixate. I looked right at the fucking fence and went right towards the fence, because when I re-looked at the video a few times, slow-mo to you name it, Swivel actually pointed it out. He said, bro, that was target fixation. I think at the time I just didn't want to admit it, so I put in the video that, you know, I was carrying too much corner speed. That wasn't the case, I just target fixated. It's happened before. I don't like when it happens, and I don't really like to admit when it happens, because I feel like it's a noob move. But hey, it happens to the best of us. The first time I ever target fixated on my bike was when I had my Ninja 300, and and I was going around a very, very sharp turn, and it basically it's like a double lean turn. I don't know what you call it, but like double apex maybe, I don't know. But like basically you lean hard into the first turn. Go girl, you got right away. Basically you lean really hard. I was leaning real hard right into the first turn, and then you come up for a second, and then you lean harder right again. Lean even harder the second time. And basically, I was pretty familiar with that road actually. I target fixated on a fence, wrought iron fence, man, solid as a motherfucker. That wrought iron fence was solid as hell, and I went right into it. I didn't wreck my bike. ABS saved my ass, and man, I'll tell you what, I grabbed a fistful of brake. I didn't gently tap it. I fucking, oh baby, I grabbed the fuck out of that brake. Okay, this is a sketchy intersection. Yes, it is. I grabbed a handful of brake, man, and the front of my bike, like the front tire, just bumped it, and I was, man, I need a new fucking pair of pants after that. Need a new pair of pants. I nearly crapped myself, man, because I was going 60, maybe a bit slower, maybe 55, 60, right into that fucking gate. I slammed the hell out of those brakes. Which again is why I am a big advocate for electronic rider aids. Because it doesn't matter how good you are. You're a human and you make mistakes whether you want to or not. I'm no better than you are. I put my pants on one leg at a time. Just because I ride a 600 doesn't mean I'm the greatest rider ever. Heck, Yami Noob taught us all that, right? Am I right? Even Max Wrist, as good as he is, he's been down about 4 times. If you don't believe me, go check his Max Wrist Gold channel and comb through his video selection, and you'll see 4 videos where he went down on his bike. Anyway, I'll go ahead and end it there. I should have ended it earlier, but whatever, I just had more to say. Talkaholic. Anyway, ride safe. Peace. Round 2.